agenda pulled up and you're at all prepared to assist us today, we'll give you a minute to do so.
I actually do not have my agenda pulled up. I'm in the middle of one place heading to another meeting, so I stopped by my house and my computer is not in the house here with me, so I'm out of luck.
Okay. Is that someone else that is on the call willing to serve in that role in lieu of him having that pulled up?
I have it.
Okay.
Bart just showed up.
Oh, he just showed up. We'll let him, hopefully he can get on and he can step into that space.
Saved by the bell.
I can help if need be, but I'll let others do so if it's in person if possible.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Mhm.
Right. Hi, Bart. It's after 3. We have a quorum, and if you're ready to get us started, we are prepared for you.
All right. Sorry I was a little bit late. It is, as Tim well knows, running from thing to thing can be a little bit tricky. All right. I'll call this meeting to order. Thank you all for attending. And I think we start off with the roll call, right?
Yes, thank you. By last name in alphabetical order: Ashworth,
Here?
Dever,
Here?
Kelly, Littlejohn,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Reason.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. And I'll go ahead and start us off with item B, public comment. Do we have anybody there in the room wanting to submit public comment?
We have no one in person wishing to submit public comment, but we do have, I've received notification, we have someone online who would like to comment.
Okay. Please proceed.
Hi there. As some of you know, I've been coming to these meetings for many years for one reason: the systematic disaccommodation of cyclists by the denial, delay, and degrading of public bike parking at public facilities. If you have read your packet, you see that there's a letter from Martin Alvarez regarding his decision to move his family to Lawrence because of biking infrastructure, such as the investment in the loop, and I could point to a number of other things as you could, bike boulevard, road diets, and so on and so forth. But none of that is meaningful if there are no meaningful, safe and secure bike parking at the end of destinations within the city. I'm not here to delineate that problem. I've done it before elsewhere, and I've been doing it for many years. I'm getting a little weary of it. I guess that's all I had to say for now. You all are here either because you have to be or because you want to be. I am here because Lawrence and the Lawrence Public Library made history, American history, when it, first of all, moved to a temporary location and did not provide bike parking to the public. And when it opened, the bike parking that was promised in the site plan and the voters approved of was absent. And one thing after another finally led to a shabby bike corral that it requires myself to be on the city to keep it in reasonable maintenance. Somebody's going to have to tell this guy Martin that there is no one responsible for bike parking, least of all the Multimodal Transportation Association. They deny any responsibility for it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Thornburg. Was there any other public comment on Zoom?
There is none.
Okay. I will go ahead and bring it back to us. The next item, approve the minutes. Looks like we have the July minutes before us. That being the case, I would entertain a motion to approve if everybody has reviewed the minutes.
Allison Smith, I move to approve.
I'll second it. Mike Dever.
Okay. I have a first and a second. I think we're doing a roll call vote again. Is that correct,
I have one
Jessica?
edit. There's one edit.
Yes, if you have an
Just,
edit.
it was just, I just noticed on the very end of the, it says that the next meeting will be in March 2020.
Oh.
Just a typo,
Fix that. Okay.
just a typo.
Oh, okay.
Some of those automatic things catch us.
Next meeting. Roger that. With the exception of that, then I
Okay.
guess.
Yes. Do we have to go ahead and rescind that motion and just add that addendum there, Jessica?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So I believe it was Allison that put
Yeah.
forth the motion first.
I'll move to approve with the one correction as noted by Jessica.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right. It's a first and a second. All right. And is a voice vote okay, or are we doing roll call again, Jessica?
A voice vote is fine as long as we can count the vote and tell who has voted what way. Can indicate
Okay.
by raising your hand. You could do that
Okay.
also. That'd be good.
All right. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
I am audibly raising my hand.
Okay.
Aye.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Any opposed? I'm not seeing any opposed. It passes unanimously. So, all right. I'll go ahead and move us on to item D, agenda items. Our only agenda item is the federal fiscal year 2025 to 2028 Transportation Improvement Program. And Jessica, could you go ahead and give us some background on this?
Yeah, Cece's going to present that for you today.
Okay. Sorry about that, Cece. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. And looks like I'm screen sharing, so I am going to jump off from there once I move my little tiles around. Okay, the Transportation Improvement Program, also known as the TIP, implements the Long Range Transportation Plan, T2050. For projects to be included in the TIP, they must be consistent with T2050. This ensures projects are implementing the MPO's vision for a healthy, safe, and efficient transportation system, which adequately serves Lawrence, Eudora, Baldwin City, Lecompton, and unincorporated areas of Douglas County. Whereas the last time we talked about the TIP in April, we were discussing an amendment to the previous TIP. This document is a totally new TIP with new analysis of project locations as it relates to EJ zones, environmental justice zones, descriptions of how projects are funded in relationship to each other, and we've identified how the projects in the TIP align with the performance measures of T2050. I'm going to jump around a bit in the TIP to show you all examples of these highlight changes since the last TIP. So this page, figure 10, shows the 8 projects in the environmental justice zones across the city of Lawrence. And you can see the Mass Street Multimodal project in red, or the SLT K10 Westleg in the dark blue, as well as many other projects in EJ zones. Here, table 4, you can see the updated operations and maintenance, anticipated funding across the MPO areas. Staff reached out to each of the different parties and showed the data which was provided. Table 10 shows all 32 projects included in the TIP and identifies which of the overarching goals within T2050 are being met. Some, like the Mass Street multimodal improvements or the various Lawrence Bike sidewalk projects and ADA ramps, promote all of the goals. Others may have a more specific goal they're promoting, like the bridge repair in Douglas County. Appendix C identifies all of the projects which were in the previous TIP and have been identified as being completed. As you can see, it's actually 2 pages, we've been successful in implementing and constructing quite a few of the projects from the previous TIP over the last 3 years. Table 2 shows that the MPO will continue to do quarterly TIP amendments in order to maintain an orderly and up-to-date TIP document. Our next amendment is scheduled to come back to the MPO TAC in March of next year. And finally, I'd like to point out, as JT mentioned, we received 2 public comments during the 30-day public comment period for the fiscal year 25 to 28 TIP. These are included in your agenda packet. One was from a resident who is encouraging continued funding, improving, and expanding cycling infrastructure in Lawrence. And the other was from the MSO division of the City of Lawrence requesting that a project, TIP number 519, be updated to indicate that it would be constructed in 25 rather than 24. The MPO Technical Advisory Committee reviewed the TIP at their meeting earlier this month and unanimously approved the TIP. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, but ultimately I am hoping for you all to consider approving fiscal year 25 to 28 Transportation Improvement Program. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Cece. And I'll open it up to questions. All right. I'm not seeing any. So if that is true, like Cece said, I'd entertain a motion.
Point of information, public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I didn't know if we were doing that on agenda items as well.
Yes.
Thank you. So, public comment on this item?
No one in person or online has raised their hand to indicate they wish to comment on this item.
All right. Bringing it back to us for further discussion. Any further discussion? Cricket.
I had one question when I was reviewing it. Sorry, I was looking at the bus acquisition information, specifically the description of the assets that we're acquiring with those funds, and I just saw this difference between electric and battery electric descriptions, and I just wanted to make sure, is there a difference between the equipment we're receiving, or is it just, are they both, like, I didn't know if one was a hybrid or it had some sort of other, or there was any difference between the two descriptions. And I can't remember exactly where it was, but I think we were discussing the assets we're acquiring with the funding, the $4 million that are coming in. So are all the buses, I just want to make sure all the buses are the same, that we're basically buying the same stuff over the next couple of years.
I believe they are in terms of the vehicles that we're buying, electric vehicles. I think one of them is just how those buses were described.
Okay, cool. I figured. I just want to make sure there wasn't, like, I didn't know how the technology was advancing and whether or not, being there's a difference between the 2 years, I didn't know if there was some other technology we were acquiring.
I would assume that's the name. We will follow up with our project sponsors. Those exact wording of those get submitted to us from all of the project sponsors. So in that case, Lawrence Transit would have submitted those names to us, and we can clarify that with them. But my assumption, based on the understanding of that program and what our work we're doing, is that they would both be electric buses. One just has the name battery in front of it.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Vice Mayor, BEVs or battery electric vehicles and electric vehicles are used interchangeably in the industry, so it should be the same.
I hope so. Thank you.
also doing a quick control F through the document. It looks like it may have been between tip number 420 and tip number 425, which Lawrence Transit submitted as electric bus phase 2 and electric bus phase 3. So with that understanding, I do believe they're intending for it to be the same, but we'll follow up to see if there was any intention behind the difference in language. Thank you for pointing
Yeah, that was all I cared about, because I know, to the previous commenter's point, I was around when we switched to hybrid, so I know there's multiple variations of electric vehicles and understand the nomenclature. I just want to make sure that the public does, and that I want to make sure that we have that we're trying to be consistent in our acquisitions, because that's better for everyone when we're trying to maintain and interchange the vehicles.
We'll follow up with him, and if it's necessary, we may fix that language in a future tip amendment to make it consistent.
Whatever you guys want to call it, I just want to make sure I understand, and everyone else does too. Thank you.
Thanks.
One, Vice Mayor. Any additional discussion on this? Commissioner Kelly, you have a very questioning look on your face. Is there?
I just jumped on, so I'm trying to catch up as fast as I can and figure out where you all are. So thanks for interpreting my look. I think that's pretty accurate.
Not a problem. Item D1, the tip, and but basically just we're at the discussion / question part right before a motion is brought forth. So
thank you.
I'll give you a second in case you want to add anything, or
No,
okay.
Not going to hijack the conversation now. I'll just listen. Thank you.
Not a problem. All right. All right. With that, I think I already put forth if anyone had any additional discussion or questions, but if not, at this time I would entertain a motion.
Allison Smith, I move to approve the 25 to 2028 Transportation Improvement Program.
Second.
Tim Reason, I'll second.
All right, I have a first and a second out there. Did we want to do the same, Jessica, as before, or just did you want to roll call this one since it's an agenda item?
Either way, whatever you want to do.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Kelly, as before, if all those in favor and people were in favor, they just raised their hand, and Vice Mayor Dever just said affirmative of his undisclosed location. So, all those in favor, please either raise your hand or let us know in the affirmative.
Affirmative, aye. Raising my hand. And unfortunately, my internet connection went out, so I'm using my cell phone Wi-Fi hotspot, so it can't carry much of a bandwidth. It definitely can't do two-way communication, so unfortunately, that's sad. So sorry I can't join my mug, so sorry.
That's all good. I'm just glad you're safe and sound. So, but any opposed? Not seeing any? All right, that passes. Thank you all. And looks like it passed unanimously. So, item E, quick updates. Is it going to be Jessica or Cece? Jessica, all right.
We just have two quick updates for you. These are things that that will come before you at the November MPO Policy Board meeting. The first of which is our 2025 Unified Planning Work Program that details how we intend to spend the Consolidated Planning Grant fundings in our work program for 2025. That's currently out for public comment through the end of October, and we'll be bringing that to you in November. The second is our 2025 safety performance measure targets setting, and those are out for public comment through the 23rd, and those will also be considered at the November meeting. It's part of our federally required work to set annual performance targets for safety. So I just wanted to make you aware of those and have those on your radar. We will plan to bring those to you in November.
Thank you, Jessica. And are we taking any comment on these or just receiving these?
Those are just received. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right. Any questions from anybody regarding those?
No, sir.
No.
All right. Not seeing any? Okay, I'll move us on to item F, other business. Any additional or other business?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, sorry for the gravelly laryngitis voice here, but I did want to say we made our TA project announcements on Monday. I'm sure you guys have all seen them, but Lawrence region did really, really well. We awarded a project in Eudora and 2 in Lawrence, so that's really good news. So we'll have some new projects coming online in the next year or two. So good job, guys.
Yeah, I was listening when I logged in. I heard the money. Great job getting that money. Procuring federal dollars is awesome, and I'm looking forward to what we might be able to do on Mass Street specifically. So thanks for getting that money, and honestly for all the work you've done. You know, getting all these other projects completed in the last few years. It's pretty impressive.
Guys were rock stars at that, so that will be good.
Yes, it's exciting to get to see some of our planning work that we've spent now quite a while doing be implemented in our local communities. So it's inspiring to continue to do that work, and I think it builds trust and transparency for the future of our planning processes too, when we can show that we are implementing the work that we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Thank you all. Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, our next meeting is scheduled for November 21st, and I think Bart, Mayor Littlejohn and I are both going to be at something else on that day in Wichita, Mayor Littlejohn, I think. So we might want a different day.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about having a quorum.
Okay.
Okay.
Would
Good point.
week after is a holiday. Okay, I will send a poll to find out a best option for everyone.
Okay.
Just trying to save time.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kelly. Appreciate that. All right. I don't think of any other business, but that was our next meeting. So TBA in November sometime. So at this point, is there a motion to adjourn, or do we just slowly fade into the background?
We can depart once we have completed our business.
Good. I like the latter option better anyway. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Bart, for filling in. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.